Tonight, a SUNY Oswego professor starts electrical research with a helpful grant.
Be careful on the thruway. New cameras could soon be ticket mines.
And Governor Hochul is all hands on deck approving the first cannabis licenses.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Scott Brubaker.
And I'm Casey Morris.
Governor Hochul announced today that 52 cannabis cultivator licenses have been approved in New York State. These are the first licenses that have been approved since the application portal opened last month. Governor Hochul says that she is proud of how fast the Office of Cannabis Management is working to get sales up and running so fast.
Hochul also says, quote, New York farms have been the backbone of our state's economy since before the American Revolution, end quote. She goes on to say that New York farms will be the center of the nation's most equitable cannabis industry. The Office of Cannabis will continue to review applications on a rolling basis. A World War II naval ship is currently sinking in Buffalo and Erie County Naval and Military Park. The USS The Sullivans is a Fletcher-class destroyer ship that began taking on water Wednesday night. $490,000 federal dollars will go towards repairing the ship.
SUNY Upstate Medical University and Course Health could soon become one. And a proposal that must be approved by the state, SUNY Upstate would buy Course Health, creating a system with more than 13,000 employees. No staff reductions are anticipated from this merger, and union employees at both hospitals would still be represented by their current unions. Kids
5 to 11 may soon be eligible for a COVID-19 booster shot. Mandy Gaither has more on the findings and timeline for seeking authorization.
In just released data, Pfizer and BioNTech say kids 5 to 11 who took part in a clinical trial testing a third dose of COVID-19 vaccine had a 36-fold increase in antibodies against Omicron at least 6 months after their second shot. The companies say the boosters were well tolerated with no new safety signals and plan to request FDA authorization in the coming days.
People 12 and older to be up to date on your vaccines would include a booster. That hasn't been the case for 5 to 11-year-olds because there is no authorized booster yet for that age group. This may change that.
During the Omicron surge, studies from New York and the CDC found the effectiveness of Pfizer's vaccine in this age group fell from 68% to about 12% against COVID-19 infection, but 2 doses still protected against severe illness leading to hospitalization.
If somebody is high risk, in particular in this age group, has some pre-existing condition and there's a lot of concern, then I think that this is going to be something that is going to be really important.
In the U.S., new COVID-19 cases are trending up in about half of states, but hospitalizations are still near the lowest on record despite an uptick in some Northeast states, leading some places to relax restrictions. But top U.S. health officials say remaining vigilant is still key.
In that respect, you wouldn't call it a crisis, but you don't want to forget about it because we know what variants can do.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Anthony Fauci says it's unclear how many COVID-19 cases are in the U.S. now. That's why he says it's important to continue watching the numbers of COVID hospitalizations.
The New York State Department of Transportation is one step closer to breaking ground on the Interstate 81 project. The DOT has officially completed their final environmental impact statement for the I-81 community grid. The plan for the project is to replace a stretch of the highway that divides the city of Syracuse and replacing it with pedestrian walkways and bike lanes.
The state is efforting a program to install cameras to detect speed in work zones on the thruway in Rochester. DOT officials say the program has proven successful in other states and are hopeful for its success in New York. The cameras are expected to be installed by the end of the year, but their location and number is still yet to be determined.
Law enforcement sources say the mass shooting subway suspect called in a tip that led to his own arrest. Karen Kaifu at the federal courthouse in Brooklyn this morning with the very latest.
Fellow New Yorkers, we got him. We got it.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams praising local, state, and federal law enforcement at the end of the manhunt for 62-year-old Frank James, the suspect in Tuesday morning's rush hour subway attack in Brooklyn. James was arrested by NYPD officers without incident just before 2 on Wednesday afternoon. The arrest hours after officials elevated James from a person of interest to a suspect and sent an emergency alert that set phones across the city buzzing that James was a wanted man. Law enforcement sources say James called in a tip to the city's Crime Stoppers hotline that he was in a McDonald's in Manhattan's East Village. Police say officers didn't find him there, but around the corner.
We were able to shrink his world quickly. There was nowhere left for him to run.
Police have not specified a motive, but James has been linked to disturbing videos online talking about violence and mass shootings. Authorities believe James visited a storage unit in Philadelphia the night before the attack, where investigators found more ammunition and weapons. Sources say the gun investigators recovered at the scene was found to be purchased by the suspect in Ohio in 2011, and the gas mask was traced back to the suspect through an eBay account. With the suspect in custody, relief for New Yorkers.
We hope this arrest brings some solace to the victims and the people of the city of New York.
In Brooklyn, New York, I'm Karen Kafa.
We'll stay on top of the story as details develop.
A 2-year grant from the National Science Foundation will fund SUNY Oswego faculty research to discover an inexpensive invert technology to adopt high-voltage DC links in electric vehicles. An electrical and computer engineering faculty member says that cost is one of the top barriers to both producing and purchasing electric vehicles. Zong will research traction inverter technology to increase DC link voltage of the electrical system in an electric vehicle.
There are many classes being added to the calendar for the CNY Arts Center this spring. Miss Amy's Music Together class will meet on Wednesday nights, teaching toddlers the sounds of the tambourine. Additionally, Art with Cheryl will be on Tuesday nights, and Crocheting with Nicole will be on Mondays. For more information on all the events happening at the CNY Arts Center, you can visit cnyartscenter.com. And coming up, North Dakota bunkers down for more snow.
And a student is helping his community police officers with a homemade invention.
Now let's take a quick look at the weather with Storm Team 10 Chief Meteorologist Shelby Peplowski.
All right, thank you, Scott. Friday, last day for some warm weather, probably going to be in the 60s. We'll take a quick look at that Easter day forecast and warming up again on Monday. Stay tuned for my full weather after the break.
Athletics. Aaron, there were 6 big points. This is the one you've been waiting for. This group has never beaten Cortland.
Getting started with some men's soccer as the Lakers had 2 conference matchups.
For half of the Lakers' goals this entire season.
Offense is key. You talked all about scoring goals.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News.
For the governor race with a strong lead, former Governor Andrew Cuomo is...
Barlow announced the completion of a large building mural in downtown Oswego.
The renovations on the Hewitt Union Building, turning it into the new Hewitt Hall.
And as we move into tomorrow, that rain is going to be in our area.
Moving to the Diamond now, as Sweet Caroline got a lot sweeter last night.
Life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire, but you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
We've been marinating chicken in all sorts of liquids for 24 hours. These are vitamins and minerals and things that you need, nutrients. The chicken speedy is a staple of our culture.
right, good evening. I'm Storm Team 10 Chief Meteorologist Shelby Poplowski. Right now, we're looking at some cloud cover that pushed out of the area and over towards Albany earlier a few hours ago, along with this system pushing out of the area that the rain that caused the temperature to drop from 73 down to 44 today also moved out of the area. Here's some current satellite. As you can see, that rain band has moved into Essex County and Burlington and Albany County. And as we can continue, tonight's low temperature, if I can move out of the way of my own graphics, clouds will be increasing throughout the night. Temperatures will drop into the upper 30s. Winds will be from the south at 9 to 13 miles per hour. And as we move into tomorrow, high of 61 potentially. Those southerly winds will be driving that warm temperature all the way up into our area. So it could cause some warming and high temperatures. Wind gusts will be from 16 to 24 miles per hour, gusting up to 41 miles per hour, and it will be mostly sunny. Here's a Easter Day forecast that I found. Not my favorite graphic, but as you can see, Friday, high of 59, low of 39. Saturday, rain on the way. And Sunday, we have the potential for some snow mixed in with some rain. Now, I don't think anything's going to accumulate, but it definitely will have some stuff happening. Here's the look at any possible rain throughout the week. Friday, no rain Friday. Saturday, that chance of rain increasing around 2 p.m. and continuing to increase throughout the day and into Saturday or Sunday when that system will move out of the area by 10 a.m. So Friday, breezy, high of 61. Saturday, rain. Sunday, high of 46. And moving into Monday, those temperatures finally warming back up again. A little bit of fluctuations, but Thursday ending on some showers. So that's all for my forecast. Now back to the news desk.
Thank you, Shelby. The strongest blizzard to hit North Dakota in 25 years is continuing to cause travel issues. Whipping winds have brought more than 2 feet of snow onto the highways in the past 48 hours. Officials say as snowfall begins to slow, wind will be the biggest challenge. Parts of Interstate 94 and Highway 83 will continue to remain closed.
Experts are saying that 2022 may be a make or break year for many craft breweries. Early data is showing that brewery closures have been on the rise since the beginning of the year, and some sales have been spotty. After being hit hard by the pandemic, the industry has been hoping for a comeback. However, the outlook has been growing hazier.
A tussle between a trainer and a dolphin at a Florida sea aquarium gave spectators more of a show than they bargained for. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
An otherwise fun and fancy-free afternoon at a trained dolphin show in Florida turned tense when a dolphin appeared to attack a trainer in front of a live audience. It happened during the Flipper show at the Miami Seaquarium. The trainer was in the water when she appeared to be struck forcibly several times before getting out of the pool. The Seaquarium spokesperson says the trainer accidentally scratched the dolphin, leading to the tense underwater encounter. Dolphins are extremely intelligent, and despite their friendly reputations, experts say they can use their snouts as ramming weapons when threatened, even fending off fierce predators like sharks. The trainer did appear visibly dazed after exiting the pool, but the company says both she and the dolphin are recovering well. A Florida woman's car troubles led to a new job, and it was thanks in part to one caring cop. Let me explain. Amber Battle was on her way to a Jacksonville job interview when
my engine blew up in the middle of the intersection. So I was steaming, smoking, couldn't get the car back started, and I just felt really defeated.
Enter Officer Sylvia Mitchell, who came to the rescue, not only giving Battle a ride to the interview, but personally recommending her to the manager.
It was like, hey, I need y'all to give this young lady a job. I mean, y'all like talking about, I don't believe she brought the police with her. We all just laughed.
It worked. Battle landed the job and a new friend who made sure that even though her engine was blown, her career opportunity was not. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Battle ended up with a new job and making a new friend.
NASA's final pre-launch test of its Artemis 1 mega moon rocket hit a snag Thursday. The crucial test is known as the wet dress rehearsal. It stimulates every stage of launch without the rocket actually leaving the launch pad. During an attempt to fuel the rocket stack with liquid oxygen and hydrogen, a leak was discovered. According to NASA, the rocket is still stable and in a safe configuration.
A Missouri high schooler is making a difference by giving back to their local police department. Senior Ryan Nick has spent the last month creating a 35-pound battering ram in his welding class. Welded right into the front are the letters PPD for the department to leave a mark. Nick says that he feels good knowing his project will help law enforcement officials. And coming up, mortgage rates across the country are hitting record highs.
And find out how Peloton plans to increase their subscription model.
So I guess that was
This job looks perfect. It says you need a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that.
Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Major Discussions is the new show that explores the stories of students right here on campus. I personally came here to SUNY Oswego for the broadcasting program because I love to hear people's stories and to do work just like this.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. Let's get into your consumer report. Some Americans are looking for a new place to live and may suffer from sticker shock. Mortgage rates increased again this week, hitting 5% for the first time since 2010, according to Freddie Mac. This hike follows last week's announcement from the Federal Reserve about plans to boost interest rates at a faster pace as a way to fight inflation.
Elon Musk owns 9% of Twitter, but he wants more. Musk offered a price of $43 billion for the entire company, which puts a $6 billion difference between their overall net worth of $36 billion. Twitter's decision will decide whether or not it will remain a public company, but did not respond as to when this will be.
Congress is taking action to help avoid a potential retirement crisis. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan has a closer look at how those changes could impact your retirement savings.
Here we are. Your retirement savings may be about to face a major and inevitable change.
Part of this overhaul is to actually force people into saving in their 401k plan.
The legislation, Secure Act 2.0, is expected to reach President Joe Biden's desk by the end of the year. If passed and signed, it could require most employer-sponsored retirement plans to enroll eligible workers automatically at a 3% level. That would increase by 1% until you're contributing 10% of your paycheck annually. But workers would have the option to opt out or change their contribution level.
Most people do not understand something called the pay yourself first rule. And that means put money in your retirement plan before you start spending money on things like entertainment and travel.
The plan would also delay mandatory withdrawals and limit penalties for those who fail to withdraw on time. The proposed act could also make it easier for those with student loans to save and for older workers to make catch-up contributions. It's also a major change for part-time workers who would be able to contribute to 401k plans for the first time. With pension plans nearly extinct and the Social Security Trust Fund facing a 75-year deficit, experts say 401k plans are more critical than ever.
The three-legged stool of retirement has basically turned into a pogo stick, and it's going to be on your back and your responsibility to save money.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
The plan would also extend tax credits to small businesses for providing greater access to retirement plans for their workers, and it would create an online database for Americans to locate lost retirement funds. Peloton is slashing the cost of its pricey bikes and treadmill, but raising the price of its subscription service. The fitness company announced the move Thursday. The company says it wants more people to be able to afford its equipment, which includes the Peloton Bike, Bike Plus, and the Peloton Tread. At the same time, Peloton says it will charge current customers more for access to its fitness classes. And coming up in sports, we have Jack Franzino.
Jack, can you give us a quick preview?
Absolutely. Coming up in my report, the semifinals were announced for the Champions League play, and who moved on in the play-in tournament for the NBA, the Hawks or the Hornets, plus plenty more.
We've been marinating chicken in all sorts of liquids for 24 hours. These are vitamins and minerals and things that you need, nutrients. The chicken speedy is a staple of our culture.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News.
For the governor race with a strong lead, former Governor Andrew Cuomo is...
Barlow announced the completion of a large building mural in downtown Oswego.
The renovations on the Hewitt Union Building, turning it into the new Hewitt Hall.
And as we move into tomorrow, that rain is going to be in our area.
Moving to the Diamond now, as Sweet Caroline got a lot sweeter last night.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to your sports report. I'm Jack Franzino. Starting with Laker sports, the men's tennis team went over to Utica University to take on the Pioneers last night in what was an exciting matchup. The Lakers got a decisive early doubles win by Anthony Salerno and Austin Davis. However, Ethan Bonocci and Justin Petrowski were 1 point shy of getting the victory in their doubles matchup. Bonocci would bounce back with him and Raymond Paul each earning wins in their singles matchups, but the Lakers would ultimately lose 5-4 and look ahead to this Monday when they face the Red Dragons in Oneonta. Now, of course, moving over to upcoming matchups in Lakers sports, we had the men's and women's track and field team playing in none other than SUNY Brockport tomorrow for the St. John's Fishers Invitational Meet. Both teams had numerous competitors looking to build off impressive performances last time out. For the men, names to look out for include Aiden Harrington, Jack Hickey, and Ethan Paragas. And on the women's side of things, Ashley Lacey, Lindsay Fluman, and Faith Coyle each look for more improvements in their respective events. Good luck to all competitors. And fans of soccer must have been extremely excited in recent days, as the Final Four for the Champions League were just decided. Chelsea took on Real Madrid in what had to be the most exciting set of the round. While Real Madrid won the first match 3-1, Chelsea struck back early in the second, gaining a 3-0 advantage. Los Blancos wouldn't go down without a fight, as they tied the score on aggregate to send the game to extra time. A precise header by Karim Benzema would give them the win, sending them to the semifinals to face one of the favorites, Man City. Liverpool, who currently have the same odds to win as Man City, will be facing Villarreal. Now, moving over to Atlanta as the Hawks faced the Hornets in the NBA play-in tournament matchup. This game started out pretty close as P.J. Washington had a huge dunk right there, showing off his athleticism and getting the scoring started early. But Clint Capella and Trae Young showed off their connection, with Clint Capella getting the alley-oop to fall and one. Kevin Huerter then found a nice three right there off the feed from DeAndre Hunter, and that gave the Hawks an early double-digit lead. And Trae Young, back at it again with the Clint Capella connection, hit another nice alley-oop. And as we close the half, LaMelo Ball hit that nice three right from the elbow to try and bring this deficit down. But the Hawks would have none of it as they dominated the second half right there, as we saw a nice three-pointer right there by DeAndre Hunter. And even with them up by 30, Trae Young still was diving on the floor to get the loose ball and feed DeAndre Hunter in the paint. And the goaltend was called, which caused Miles Bridges to actually get teed up. And that was going to do it, though, as the Atlanta Hawks moved on to face Cleveland and hope to now potentially rehash their playoff success the last time around as they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Jack Franzino, thank you very much. Could we get a quick look at what the weather will be like for any students traveling home for the long weekend?
Yeah, Friday should be pretty good for travel. Saturday, a little rainy, and Sunday, pretty good also coming home.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shelby. It's going to be a nice weekend. I'm definitely ready for a break. And about all you guys, that is our report for the night. Please be sure to stay tuned for the bigger picture.
Thank you for watching, everyone, and have a great night.
Sure.
We've been marinating chicken in all sorts of liquids for 24 hours. These are vitamins and minerals and things that you need, nutrients. The chicken speedy is a staple of our culture.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News.
For the governor race with a strong lead, former Governor Andrew Cuomo is...
Barlow announced the completion of a large building mural in downtown Oswego.
The renovations on the Hewitt Union Building, turning it into the new Hewitt Hall.
And as we move into tomorrow, that rain is going to be in our area.
Moving to the Diamond now at Sweet Caroline.